This is January the 12th, 2017. Not bad at all. Sorry, I was looking around. I'm going to do my best to hold the camera steady. I'm out in the front yard at our house, and I'm waiting for a pine straw delivery. As you can see here, we have a rather large pine island, as they call it. Down here in the south, we oftentimes use pine straw because we have an abundance of it. We often use pine straw as a mulch or ground cover. And in this case, it's a ground cover. There was a large tree that was taken out right there, you can see. And then one of the former owners of this property planted these 3 dogwood trees, which I'm not all that fond of, but I don't like the fact that they're in a straight line in a row. This is a much more natural looking landscape arrangement. But what we typically do down here in Georgia is have these azaleas, which some of these are azaleas, have these azaleas and then have this pine straw down as a ground cover and mulch around them. And I was curious about that. I was thinking, well, what's the origin of using pine straw in conjunction with these azaleas? And it dawned on me that it probably originated at the Augusta National Golf Course over at where they play the Masters, because those guys are huge innovators in all types of landscaping down here in the south. So it would only make sense that they have all those pine trees around Augusta. I mean, it's just amazing. It's a pine forest over there. What better way to make use of all those pine needles that they had to rake up around the golf course than to pile them up around the base of the azaleas? And it turned into a really nice landscape mulch. But I want to show you guys something. This is not necessarily an outdoor video or anything like that, but look at that tree right there. And if you'll notice, there is moss growing around the base of that particular tree. I'm not sure what that is. It may be a cherry. Growing up, we were always told that as kids that moss grows on the north side of a tree, so that if you're ever caught out in the woods and need to know which way is north, south, east, west, that sort of thing, you pick out a nice tree that's got some moss on it, and bada boom, bada bing. If you'll look right there, the old iPhone says, the compass on the iPhone says, lo and behold, it's growing moss on the north side of this tree. Amazing. So chalk that one up in the old memory banks, and just remember that if you are indeed ever caught out in the woods and don't have your iPhone with the compass, it's amazing what things that we have now. And if it's a cloudy day, let's say, and you can't see the sun, so that you don't know, you can always look at the sun. The sun rises in the east, sets in the west, and travels across the southern horizon. So based on those 3 facts, if you can see the sun, you can normally navigate. And although this is not a landscaping video as such, I wanted to show you something today. We have a nice flowering bush right next to the house on the back. And as you can see, it's growing a little close to the actual house. And we have this one limb that, unfortunately, the ice storm that we had in January in Atlanta looks like it got the best of that limb. So it's time to trim that limb. And I'm going to show you the proper way to do that. But the main thing is that you have the proper tools. What I have here is a good high quality limb saw with a locking mechanism on it, and you can see the teeth on that puppy. That's a good quality limb saw, and they're available at most nurseries. I actually purchased this one at a home and garden show, at a booth. They had what I thought was a pretty good deal on them, and it's known to be a good quality saw. So anyway, anytime you're taking off a limb, the key is that you don't want the limb to break and strip back down into the main part of the tree. So therefore you do an undercut first and then cut from the top. So if you'll bear with me, this is going to take a few minutes, but I'm going to show you the proper way to remove a limb like that. So there you have it. A nice clean cut with no stripping of the bark back down below. You can always come in and touch this up, with power tools or that sort of thing. But if you're the average homeowner, all you need is a really good quality limb saw. This is the after portion, or the after shot. This is what the pine straw looks like when it's freshly installed on a nice southern landscape. It obviously is wintertime because that's when the best pine straw is available, first of all, and second of all, the grass is all brown. This particular type of grass is zoysia, and it goes dormant in the winter. So therefore, we have this really nice, fresh, thick pine straw layer that we put on the landscape. And it looks really nice, don't you think?